This is what you get with the Highlander left.
Jason was going to ruin everything, so Jason became #1 enemy.
Sansol is a moron, and Stardust is like 2 steps above.
I didn't say
I'm
that.
2 steps above
You
moron.
didn't. I said it, and I'll stand on it.
Jenny getting a funeral blanket and rope sent to her house and having to leave her house.
Jesus
Yeah, I'd say some
Christ.
people like-
That's where I think it's getting very sketchy. Next thing on the list is FBOMB's video on the Highlander Leftist stuff.
Why I think this is happening and why, like, I just want, like, I don't dislike Endless. I don't dislike any of these people. I think Tegma is being a little bit of a rat, but, like, that's for a completely separate time frame reason. But I don't dislike anyone here. I just think you all got played by Claw on Twitch, and I am fucking sick of this shit. It's been 2 years of his stuff.
I'm using Sansol and Destiny and these evils to shield the victims.
This is your community that you have. This is your community.
It's going Chud, Destiny, Stardust, and then Sansol because it's an insurance that if Jason does come on his stream, he will shut him down or mute him in order for shit to not come out.
And the advantage of having Sansol on our side already is we can make sure that Sansol can stop Jason from exposing this.
This is happening, women are being used and abused and covered up. So this is a whole lot bigger
Jesus
than
Cow, you're so base, thank
me
you.
and Jason. It just happened to be Jason was the first person I had to expose.
Do you know what happens to somebody who's under 18 after your parent gets taken out by cops? Do you know what happens? Do you know what happens? No, do you know what happens?
Yeah.
You do. You know DCFS.
He does not.
I can make a sandwich!
She does.
Yeah.
She does not need a babysitter.
They don't get to bury and hide it this time. They don't get.
They don't get to bury and hide it this time. Another reference to a previous attempt at this.
Perfect. So, about an hour and a half into your chat, I'm catching up on everything that else is happening because I don't personally involve myself in much drama on Twitch, despite what people would like to think about me. Most of the time, I'm just in chat, and most of the time, I'm just in your chat as of late. About an hour.
What
Perfect.
what an intro. Damn FBOMBs. What an intro.
So, about an hour and a half into your chat, I'm catching up on everything that else is happening because I don't personally involve myself in much drama on Twitch, despite what people would like to think about me. Most of the time, I'm just in chat, and most of the time, I'm just in your chat as of late, if I'm even on Twitch at all. And this whole Clai and Jason drama has turned me off of like wanting to even check on Twitch as much, except for your stream when I'm able to in between work. So I'm in here tonight, and I'm just kind of, hanging out, Clai and Jason, hearing about everything else that's happening. And someone comes in the chat, named Hypatia. To clarify, I'm Lupelli, or the victim mentioned many times. I asked Sarah and Rodit to not include me or mention me. Instead, they posted it all, even highlighted my story in the tweet Google box, which I have the Google Drive right here. Yes, and Endless, I promised I would, all right? I wouldn't, do the shit if I, didn't go by what she wanted me to do.
Okay, we're gonna watch it on this one instead. Okay. Because this has silence skip.
Jason drama has turned me off of, wanting to even check on Twitch as much, except for your stream when I'm able to in between work. So, I'm here tonight, and I'm just kind of, hanging out, trying to figure out what's going on, hearing everything else that's happening, and someone comes in the chat, named Hypatia. To clarify, I'm Lupelli, or the victim mentioned many times. I asked Sarah and Rodit to not include me or mention me. Instead, they posted it all, even highlighted my story in the tweet Google box, which I have the Google Drive right here. Yes, and endless. I promise I would. All right, I wouldn't like do the shit if I, didn't go by what she wanted me to do. All right. Why would they highlight it and post my abuse story? Edit it for stream, but post it unedited yesterday. This is disgusting. I don't have a platform or social media. Yet Twitch poll feels entitled to exploit my pain. Okay, so the group was originally to help me after being scammed by Slicker and on the Ms. Kiv stream. And I said, oh shit. And she said, I mentioned domestic abuse in front of 100,000 people. I was told people on Twitch poll could help me expose these rapists. What? I said, oh no. After dropping receipts, Jason and Clai used me against one another to break the story first. Then, whilst not even in that call, they spoke about my abuse and assault. And it was recorded. So, okay, let me get in contact with James at DMs. Let me get you onto this stream or you in his Discord because that's really fucked. I said, Clai has been, as far as I've seen, using this as a means to manipulate a lot of people whilst Jason and she were manipulating each other. I'm Pelly. There's a video I did on my page from hospital. We don't have to watch that video, but she did do a video from the hospital the other day. And,
okay, hold on. Time out. Whoa.
Wow, that sure is a lot. That sure is a lot of stuff. Question is any of it real? Sure, it sounded real. But let's take a little journey and find out if it is. Me, personally, I've got some reasons to believe it's not. Let me take you down the little journey with me, and we'll see what you think at the end. Now, I want to start by saying, I don't know Lupelli. I don't know anything about Lupelli. You may be a wonderful person. You may have a wretched story that should get out and should be told. I have no idea, and I'm not here to judge that.
I know Lupelli, and I think based on what she said, she seems truthful. She seems like she's telling the truth.
You believe is that this story has been used by somebody that came here to use this story and hurt this community, no matter what it took. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about somebody that decided they were gonna go after a number of streamers. I'm not 100% sure if this person came here to Twitch poll to try to manipulate everybody and use us for the benefit, or if it just became a fun game for a sick and twisted person. This person first came into our area and went on to stoner casts with JasonSociety. After that stoner cast, very shortly after, Jason had this person on stream every single stream. Made them co-hosts of Stonercast. They shared a chat. They were together every day on stream. To a point where I left. I got tired of it. And strangely, this person who came to our community basically took over Jason's stream, not just on air, but took over the Discord, took over, moved it over to Streamlabs, had their VODs being recorded on a friend's server, took over Jason's stream and sort of killed it. Also, tried to do the same with me. Sen was doing booking for me, and he had been doing booking for Jason until it became untenable for him to work around Clai with Jason. This content creator came around and tried to get me to fire Sen, tried to get me to let them help me with my Discord, help me with all kinds of things, and basically make it so that they had control of my stream. Luckily, I didn't let it happen, but I actually think it might have happened with another creator, Tegma, as well. Well, this person came to the community and was expressing to Jason some concerns about some SA in upper echelon of Twitch. And apparently there was a Twitter group of people like Endless Cemetery, Tegma, Paradigm, this content creator, Jason, they mentioned Aston Mac, I'm not sure who else. And they were all doing an operation. Yes, like a Hardy Boys type operation where they were going to recruit streamers in Twitch poll with this story, and they were going to use this story to run it up a flagpole. You hear them mention Sansol and Stardust and Chud Logic and Destiny, and they want to use these people to get this story out. However, at one point when this creator went on to a show with Stardust, Jason flipped out. Jason was in a bad mental place. He felt that they were dating, which there may have been some trickery there, but Jason also behaved very poorly, should have behaved much better. But he flipped out in this private chat with all these people, and that spawned a war room Discord. And in that war room Discord, they clearly lay out their targets, and they make it very, very clear that Jason he has become a target. Even though Jason was working with them, Jason now has become a target. Why? Because they're afraid Jason is going to spill the beans first, or they're aware Jason is going to discredit them before they have a chance to do this whole charade with Sansol and Stardust, to a point where they talk about getting Sansol to make sure if Jason comes on Sansol's stream that he will not let Jason talk about this other thing that they're doing. They make it very clear that this is about using Jason to springboard to higher things. Jason isn't a big deal. This entire attack on Jason was to keep him from messing up what they were doing. And sadly, they decided they were going to harass anybody that could possibly stand in their way. Sarah Wants a Cookie is one. Myself is one. It turns out they had recorded somehow an 8-hour recording of what was going on in this war room Discord was leaked. In this 8-hour call, there is a lot of issues. A lot of things to be concerned about in this community.
Let me turn this down a little bit.
And once people in that call knew that it had been recorded and it started getting out, they got extremely nervous. And they did everything they could to harass anybody that could hurt them. They harassed Rotted Ranch. They harassed myself. They went after Jason. Well, they got me banned and some other things. They doxed Jason. They talked about doing a 5150 to Jason. They mass reported Jason. They laughed about getting his daughter taken away. Very, very gross. Jenny Burns was harassed, but not only harassed, there was threats made. And she was required to leave her house with her children to basically not be able to be in her home. At the same time, all of these people are harassing us. And the person that recorded it, Little Donny Fun, same thing happened with them too. They went after all of us with a vengeance in hopes that we wouldn't mess up their story. Let me show you a little bit about what I'm talking about. The sad thing is, this was all exposed in a call to James. All of this was summed up in a call to James. And let me show you what I mean.
Full rundown of this. I, about 3 days ago, was contacted by someone who put me into contact with Sarah, who put me in contact with Rotted Ranch, as well as Jenny, I think. Yeah. I watched the video. They put out a shitload of notes about this. I sent you a PDF document over on your Discord, which sums up their summations of the full-length video. So when you get that full-length video, you can go through the timestamps that I put out. I had some corrections that I want to make about some of the things that were being said, and I also want to go ahead and attribute very specifically why I think this is happening and why, like, I just want, like, I don't dislike Endless. I don't dislike any of these people. I think Tegma is being a little bit of a rat, but like that's for a completely separate time frame reason. But I don't dislike anyone here. I just think you all got played by Claw on Twitch, and I am fucking sick of this shit. It's been 2 years. If you watch this long video, right, that gets put out there, there's nothing wrong with recording private chats. If you are recording private chats, you are an idiot on the internet. So somebody's doing it. Get used to it. So I go ahead and characterize this. Overlord Clai, from the first 2 points I put here at 4 minutes and 23 minutes, is going ahead and speaking a lot about Claw. Now, 2 years ago, Claw was banned for revenge porn because he showed naked pictures that were blurred out of May 7th as a screen rep from Clint1717's stream.
Holy
so Claw
shit.
got banned. During the same period time, he was accusing Hassan Piper, Austin Cho, as well as his entire production company, including John Zerka and many others, of sexual abuse of many different people that are out there, whether they be streamers, mods, or, you know, just randos and everything like that. So Clai has been trying to go ahead and get this to come forward for years upon years. Now, when we go ahead and look at what happened recently with Clai, with that audio that got released where you can hear him, what sounds like him going ahead and physically assaulting his girlfriend in a domestic violence situation, right? I think a lot of us are clear about that. That's what happened. We can go ahead and say that this got blown up after he starts to go ahead and try to flagellate out to say, hey, I want to take any drama that I can, so that way I can get this story out that I have been listening to for 2 years. And this is a story of the person whose name is now redacted because she doesn't want to be involved with it. I have been in touch with her. She's a lovely person. I'm trying to actually give her non-schizophrenic, you know, support, so that way we can actually get like data and information and do something with it. Just because, you know, making sure people get told the story the best way rather than just vague posting and everything like that. So when Clai is referring to any of this stuff about trying to go ahead in this video, she refers to using Sansal's platform to get in touch with Chud Logic, as well as Destiny to get in touch with Chud Logic, then to go ahead, or she's using Sansal and Stardust to get in touch with Chud Logic, to get in touch with Destiny. So that way they can spread this story, which is what Clai has been trying to do for years upon years. So that is where all of this kind of comes through, because this is a story that I heard, you know, months upon months ago, and I'm trying to get Clai to give me information, but he's always cagey about it, right? And when I say months upon months, like 2 years ago, right? And along with that, because of the way that this is coming out, I'm realizing that when I listen to this audio, that there are very specific moments, that there are repetitions of falsehoods about Clai. And again, Overlord Clai outright saying, I want to prove that Clai is innocent at some point during all this of doing anything wrong, right? And yeah, that's about it. So I sent you over a PDF. Clai got banned for revenge porn, even though it was blurred out, which was literally revenge porn. They tried to go ahead and attribute motive for doing this to
I thought 5150
Jason,
was
and
like
listen, Paradigm did that. I
attempted
don't blame
suicide.
them. Again, like, it's fine. Jason did some shitty shit, but he should have just got off there. In the second hour of the video, you have Tegma, Vigilante, and several others talking about mass reporting JasonSociety to get him removed from the thing. You obviously heard about the doxing, I think, from the caller one before Sarah. They were talking about the swine thing. You heard about that. And as well as them going ahead and convincing Sansal to not have Jason on that day that Tegma went on Sansal's stream to talk about everything, right? That same day, Sansal was watching all this. You know, Tegma went on there after they went ahead and convinced them not to have Jason on there, so that way they could go ahead and keep Jason from spreading what his part of the story was. So that is what I went ahead and put out here. I kind of like looking at it kind of like gang stalking. It feels a little bit like gang stalking to me, but I also think that this is also what happens when people come into contact with Clai who don't know who Clai is, because I've seen this happen to like 5 or 6 people.
Yeah, Clai, it can be pretty manipulative.
I will say this about Clai, that I know that even him going on Prime Ks or doing anything within this politics space or literally anywhere is simply because his only motive is to go ahead and get this picked up by someone bigger, so that way they can actually go after Hassan and Austin. So I've seen him do this literally anywhere. This is what he does. I think that he has I think it's actually like a good motive. I think his fervor is what allows for victims not to be taken care of, and why nothing's ever come up of this in the last 2 years. But yeah, he does this with literally everyone. Like, every interaction he has is literally about this one thing, because, you know, I mean, my personal opinion is because he got kicked off the Raj Mod team for.
Okay, so then that would lead me to believe then that he heard about this burgeoning drama and that he would have contacted Clai. I think that would be the reasonable assumption.
No, that is not the reasonable assumption, and this is where this whole charade falls apart. So Rez just went through the whole thing, and James makes the assumption that Clai heard about drama between Jason and Clai and figured that Clai would take advantage of that. The problem is Jason and Clai were already going after this story before the drama. So that's 100% wrong. So did Clai come here to do all this? Well, let's keep looking and maybe we'll find something.
The reason why we were trying to talk Sansal into not platforming Jason is because he was already lying. He lied to me privately. He was making very strong implications.
This is a lie, and I'll prove it. Endless didn't want to stop him from getting on Sansal because of Clai. They wanted to stop him getting on Sansal because of this other project they care about.
Publicly about people's addictions and such. And when we tried the bit about mass reporting, because this is the cute part, because this is also what's cute about Rotted Ranch's VODs, because they mysteriously went missing. The cute thing about Jason's VODs mysteriously going missing is that he breaks TOS damn near every night. I'm not going to get into his issues, but the
So they didn't do any mass reporting, but
alcohol shit is TOS, right? And the thing that we were going to report, just like with FBOMBs, it's not a mass report if we report you for breaking TOS, friend.
So you tried to get Jason banned and you got me banned. So you did do mass reporting. So you did do that.
Was spreading medical disinformation. He was spreading medical disinformation. I can't show that to you here because
He was spreading medical disinformation. The lefties, the Highlander lefties decided he was spreading medical misinformation, which just happens to be after he turned on them in this investigation. Fascinating, right?
Get your channel clapped and my channel clapped probably, but he was spreading right-wing medical disinformation because he was talking about how he's leaving his program, he's dropping his meds, because he actually doesn't need any of that shit. He's actually good. And as far as the gang stalking goes, it doesn't really mean anything because it's from us, but like I could very easily and readily share my personal interactions with people where we agreed multiple times. Look, we've been going back and forth with these people, making shit up and being Jason Crusaders for a while. They don't have anything. They don't know what they're talking about. Let's just drop it. Let those people spin their wheels and never talk about this shit again. That's why you see stuff like Sarah Wants a Cookie having to @Arun to goad him into responding.
We're not harassing people, but Sarah Wants a Cookie, he called out like 67 times during this video. He just constantly, which was weird that nobody stopped him from constantly talking shit on people.
Tegma's motive is this was supposed to be about Jason and Clai. Everybody else is fucking goofy. And Tegma was the one, ironically, Tegma was the one who led that conversation with, let's just drop this. Let's never talk about this again. Jason made this private or public, excuse me.
Okay, so hold on, wait a second.
Private.
Hold on, wait a second. Hold on, wait. J. Marianne just said Clai wanted to come out with accusations against Jason. Basically,
I'll read it for
come
you
out
because he didn't read it. J. Marianne says Clai wanted to come out with accusations against Jason. She created a Discord sometime around then. She and Tegma were working together to gather the material, screenshots, etc., provided by Clai of Jason's DMs for Tegma to do an expose Twitch stream. Tegma planned to post a YouTube video that he would cut from the VOD separately. Clai invited people to her Discord to explain. She was in the VC for like 3 days. That's the call. So Mari is trying to say that this whole VC was just because of Jason.
So basically, every person involved in this decided to air their dirty laundry in public. Is that
no?
Is that a fair statement for me to make? Because J. Marianne literally just said, and I quote, Clai wanted to come out with accusations against Jason, and J. Marianne just confirmed and said yes, and then she just said again, yes, endless. So to confirm once again, is it fair to say that both of these people decided to be messy in public?
I mean, yeah, but I feel like that's kind of. What's not messy about bringing in Sansol, Queen Alexa, and eventually Destiny? That happened after Jason went public with this. Did you not watch Tegma's video?
That was because Jason went public. You heard that? They brought these people in because Jason went public.
I feel like you guys didn't watch Tegma's video.
No. I think people are trying to ascertain. I think people are starting.
It's also fascinating, isn't it?
To see now that we're talking about everybody at the same time, that people are starting to see this as like a continuing escalation, which is how we got to the point where people so far out in the fringe now have fucking cars parked outside their house, even though they weren't even within the blast radius of when this went off 3 weeks ago.
Yes,
and I think that's when everybody is coming to the dawning realization that this has just been a constant like increase to the point where people literally had a full-blown mapped out plan to get their VOD reviewed by Destiny.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, he admitted it. Yep, that was the goal.
I don't know, IRI.
Yep.
Okay, putting that out there, okay? Again, so everybody is messy, everybody is shitty, people have different reasons, and we can all have our views on the motivations. Like, I totally understand. Clai being like, I'm trying to write interference so something shitty doesn't happen to me should always be the priority.
I'll accept that. I'll accept that. And when you watch the call, I was gonna say, when you watch the call, you'll also see me telling her pretty emphatically, I don't think this shit is a good fucking idea because it's messy. But
yeah, exactly, messy. Like this has been messy for a long time. But oh my god, like I would never bring Destiny into anything. But that's me again.
I guess that was
somebody with my back to a wall feeling freaked out.
Also, the people that were brought in were people that Clai thought she could trust. We weren't just dragging in randoms.
No randos.
Right? Sansol and so forth didn't even get involved in the call. They weren't dragged in until way later because we all had to be brought on board. Part of the call was Globus freaking the fuck out about any of these people's involvement. So I
Rotted
guess
Ranch
okay,
says he
yes.
got an invite and he was a rando.
Who said that?
Rotted Ranch, who got 4
Yeah,
invites.
I explained to you why.
Yeah.
We invited Rotted Ranch because, as I have showed you in the screenshots, before this call was even public, obviously, because this was during the call, Sarah was doing
Right here, it's Overlord Clai says, J. Marianne was legit trying to help figure out a completely separate issue. So, Mari said she was only there because of this Jason thing. Now Overlord Clai
This video-
in chat says,
Your gang stalker
Mari was
video?
legit
That
trying
sounds
to help.
interesting. You said Mr. Medicare did a great video on this internet insanity. Oh, okay, on gang stalking. Interesting.
Figure out a completely separate issue. That's saying it wasn't about Jason.
the let's be a crusader for Jason shit. Let's defame Clai. These people are just dogpiling Jason.
Like he said, we didn't just shit on Jason, so we had to be attacked as well.
Let's protect Jason.
Even though this wasn't about Jason. That's the thing to keep in mind. They only turned on Jason because they were trying to protect their Hardy Boys thing. And they turned on Jason. And then they went after anybody that wouldn't just accept their story.
They were doing that shit, right? And we noticed she mods for both you and Rotted Ranch, and we wanted to make sure that both of you were not going to put it this way. There were a lot of people that I approached privately, and publicly as well. You can see how I talked to Sansol and Stardust about how they handled the situation, not as drama content, but similarly to the way that you are handling right now. It's just that
J. Mari says, Overlord Clai. No, I know. In general, though, because Mari's trying to signal to Clai, hey, please don't say that again. This is about Jason.
your credentials are what they are. Sansol is a moron, and Stardust is like 2 steps above, right? But
I didn't say
I'm
that.
2 steps above
you
moron.
didn't. I said it, and I'll stand on it.
Okay.
But
I mean, I didn't stop you. I'm just saying I didn't say it.
Hana Thing says, Sarah was trying to defend someone who needed help, not a public castration.
You heard it here first. I'm 2 steps above moron. Sorry, Sansol.
She was not defending his actions. And that
How nice. I know, especially after I apparently handled that situation so well. I handled that situation so well, but I'm 2 steps ahead of moron. Okay.
she was not defending his actions. And that's the thing. Every one of us was saying what Jason did was bad. And we didn't even know it wasn't as bad as she made it out. But all of us publicly said what Jason did was bad, but what's going on isn't just about Jason. And they just tried to defame us all and discredit us and gaslight us, dox us, get us banned, all of it. Now Clai says, Mari, I was clarifying to chat that was majority of your contribution was helping on a different project. Clai's saying this, Mari, you were there not about Jason. You were there
Thanks,
for this
Mr.
other
Queen.
thing.
been as big as it was, right? But it was by no means public and open, and we were by no means just inviting anyone, right? The allegations that we're gang stalking or mass reporting or doing any of that shit, it's cool. I'm glad it's cleared up that the version of the call is pristine now, because
I'll prove all that to be a lie.
anybody that watches it will understand that the timestamps that go along with that video are bullshit. Total bullshit. And a lot of the timestamps you'll see are literally just notating us talking shit about other streamers, as if, like I said, it was someone who heard us talking shit about other streamers for like 60 seconds, decided to hit record.
Little Donnie Fun was in the call and recorded it. That's who recorded it. And then they got it to some other people with all this craziness that was in there.
And you'll see the word SWAT does not appear but one time. And interestingly enough,
he's trying to say a 5150 isn't swatting.
It appears when Clai is expressing her worry that she will eventually be swatted.
Her worry wasn't about Jason. Her worry, which you'll see later, was about all the situations she was bringing to the table, which I think it's fairly clear she brought with her to the community. I'm pretty sure this person invaded the community for the purpose of doing this.
Due to the harassment campaign that is being levied against her because of the likes people like Sarah Wants
I can't prove it, but I can show you some reasons why.
a Cookie doing this Jason Crusader shit behind the scenes, right?
We had to go after Sarah Wants a Cookie because she was not shitting on Jason. That's what he's saying right now.
Well, to be fair to them, Sarah Wants a Cookie was doing more than like not shitting on Jason, right? Sarah Wants a Cookie was sending a lot of information contrary to what they were claiming, right? I'm not saying I'm maintaining I'm a neutral party here. But Sarah Wants a Cookie was sending a lot of information that contradicted what Clai's claims were. She was making claims that were contradictory to Clai. And so, that's, but anyways.
Is it behind the scenes? Because you also said she was tweeting about it.
Oh, well, yeah, both public and private. Because you saw the other shit that I sent you that I can't really bring up here, but.
Well, they got Donnie. We got Donnie in chat now, who, by the way,
5150 is a common swatting tactic, people are saying.
Messaged me and wanted to come in, but I didn't want to bring
If you weren't looking for any of this, then why did you?
I'm trying to avoid arguments. You know that. I'm just saying.
Right. So here's the other thing, right? Is because people talk about how they got dragged into it and they didn't want to get involved. Why? Why then? Why? There's people on that call like Tofu Ghost didn't say a fucking word about it. You know what I mean? Except
just gonna drive that bus right over Tofu, are you?
For in these two instances, because they see us catching shit for this shit, right? Levelhead knows it exists, didn't say or do shit about it, right?
So Levelhead knew all this was going on, didn't do anything about it.
I haven't said shit in 3 weeks. I haven't said shit.
Yep. You know about it. Didn't.
James says he knew all about it. James said he knew all about it and hasn't done anything about it.
Say fuck all, right? So you were not dragged into any of this shit, especially because I haven't talked about it publicly until I started going back and forth.
Jenny getting a funeral blanket and rope sent to her house and having to leave her house.
Jesus
yeah, I'd
Christ.
say some people like fucking had.
Who's Jenny and why did she get all those things sent to her house? Holy fucking shit.
Consequences, yeah. I don't know why nobody cares about it. I don't know why you guys all turned your back on Jenny. I think that's actually pretty disgusting.
But yes, JasonSociety did bad behavior
Jenny.
to
I'm
overlook
sorry
Clai.
about that.
Clai did sus behavior in response. Shit stirrers got involved, and good faith people got duped into spreading the shitstorm. James's mob was tangentially involved in TLDR. James received threatening emails and has police at his house.
That was from Mari.
The only modifier I would put on that is that Sarah is not tangentially involved. She was originally, and the reason why she was involved is because she was running defense for Jason. Also, I forgot, Talix was in the call too, but nobody mentioned
Talix was in the call too, he says.
Him. And Talix also doesn't talk about the call.
Yeah, okay.
I'm only saying that because Clai just threw it in there, but yeah.
No, that's fair. I saw Taylor in stream say a couple things. It was like, how'd I get dragged into this? Yeah, I got it.
Let's keep this in mind. All the people on our air quotes side are all like politics and mutual aid and like anarchist lefty streamers. All the people on their air quotes side are drama frogs.
I mean, listen, my stream, all we do is fucking.
Clai says, Endless Cemetery. No, he wasn't on the call. He stayed out of it too, but knew about it.
Is we do mutual aid,
Likewise, I've done Food Not Bombs fundraisers. I've done fucking. I don't want to do that.
All he says, the attacks from Clai defenders drew people in future because the attacks were far too aggressive.
I'm ready to get fucking evicted, still playing fundraisers. You know what I mean? My fucking house burned down. Like, mad shit's happened to me. Acknowledge that Sarah was not defending Jason's behavior, but wanting someone in distress to get help. No, she was defending him because none of this shit was public before she made it public. So I don't know why that was necessary.
I'll play some clips. I'll play some clips from that call where all he did was say some names. I'll play some clips.
I'm sure you know, James, as a journalist, stuff that's sensitive with private information, you want to make sure that's properly handled.
So they were so sloppy talking to all these people and it got recorded. And it's everybody else's fault that what they got recorded went out. It's not their fault for what they did. It's everybody else's fault for showing what they did. This is what you get with the Highlander left.
Which I should also say that, there are people in that call who were recorded who are not in this country. And there are people who are in that call who are not.
Yes, that is one of the threats that they made to a bunch of us. Yes.
And we're in two-party states, which means that the person who recorded that call broke the law. I'm not a snitch, so I don't call the law. But
I'm not a snitch, but we did report Jason and FBOMBs to the fucking Twitch. But I'm not a snitch. Just, you can hear how disingenuous he is, how much of a liar he is. If you listen to the 3 hours he's on this 6-hour VOD, like, it's just atrocious how many lies and how many times he tells a different story on the same phone call.
That should also be understood.
I would never call the line straight up at somebody. I don't care if you haven't heard from me in a month. You 5150 and send a wellness check over to my house. You
don't call wellness checks on people you don't know.
Yeah, birthdays are not guaranteed.
Right. And see, and let's get into that too, because that was an allegation made of us trying to 5150, Jason.
Oh, this is beautiful. Listen to this one.
The information about his mental health and the facility that he was in and the idea of a wellness check being floated came from one of his best friends of 33 years.
Mari says, that's what I'm saying. They are in no way the same level of involvement. A wellness check is a knock on the door. A 5150 is an involuntary hold at the hospital. Swatting is the SWAT team. So not admitting guilt at all.
That you can hear in that call, he threw under the bus and acted like didn't really know him that well to try to save face and do this whole, I'm getting Crusaders for me thing, because she knew information about him that was damning. So he had to disavow her. She's heartbroken about it. You can hear her in the call.
She's heartbroken about it. You can hear it.
She was fucked up. She says frequently, I couldn't conceive of Jason being like this. I didn't know Jason could do this. He didn't seem like this type of person to me.
Yeah.
But that said, the reason why she brought up a wellness check was because she's also disabled. And to my knowledge, I don't think she lives in the same state as him. So it's like, she's not on lefty time like we are.
She ain't hip and woke like I am.
You know what I mean? That was a legitimate concern for her. Like, do I need to call for a wellness check? And you'll notice when you watch the call, not a single one of us co-signed that shit. Check. And you'll notice when you watch the call, not a single one of us co-signed that shit. Check. And you'll notice when you watch the call, not a single one of us co-signed that shit.
Nobody agreed with a 5150 if you watch the call.
Not a single one of us.
I mean, it's fair. So what I'm hearing is that there were a lot of voices involved over the course of 3 weeks, or actually more, of discussions over multiple Discord channels dedicated solely to this because it was way fucked up and shit was coming fast and furious.
Right. I should also reiterate
all of this kind of just blew up.
Yeah. The reason why she brought up the wellness check is because he has a 13-year-old daughter and was concerned that he might harm his daughter.
They brought up the wellness check for concern he might hurt his daughter. You hear that?
Oh.
I'm sorry for what you're going to have to hear later, but this lie right here is disgusting. The things they said are unforgivable, and they have not apologized or admit they did anything wrong. But wait till you hear what they said.
Wait, hold on. Was that the one of the vaunted, but it's okay if Jason gets taken away because his daughter is 13, she can just make a sandwich? Is that where that one? Because I gotta tell you, that one kind of stood out. That was a rough one, man.
Do you want the full context for that? Okay.
Sure. Because that was a rough one.
When
Mari says, whoa, no, just concerned about erratic behavior.
you watch the video, you'll see, but Jason constantly weaponizes his daughter for why he can't do things. He can't get a job. He can't.
And what he means by that is they laugh about getting his income taken away and getting taken away as a streamer because fuck his income. He should go do other shit.
Can't do this or this or that because he has to watch his daughter. And the reason why we joke like that is because we were all on that and believed him. And that specific moment was when we found out his daughter was actually 13 and not like 5 or 6 or something.
And I'm sure you acted with complete respect, as I know you didn't. We'll see in a minute.
So you were memeing on the fact that she'd be old enough to take care of herself if Jason got taken away from the law enforcement that you were sending to his house.
Yes, exactly. She would be fine, even if the most evil shit we were talking about doing.
Do you know what happens to somebody who's under 18 after your parent gets taken out by cops? Do you know what happens? Do you know what happens? Do you know what happens?
Yeah.
You do. You know DCFS. You know that you're placed into a foster home, right?
Wait, before you do that,
you know
the
that
child's mother. Wait, I do know that. Yes, she could have just stayed with her mother. She would just went to her mother's house.
Yeah, except Jason says that's a lie. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy?
Her mother is still in her life. That's another part of the piece of the puzzle that's missing.
And Mari says, no endless, stop it. Sorry, no endless, stop. It was said because he claimed he couldn't do gig work due to his daughter. Jesus.
Right. That's why we did the sandwich thing, and I said that you can literally hear me say, shit, she could damn near do Uber Eats herself, is because he was talking about how he can't do gig work because he has to watch his daughter.
So they gave up the whole plan on that call. You could see James's frustration on his face the whole time he was listening to that. How frustrated he was. Now, just to sum up, we've got gang stalking, we have mass reporting, 5150, doxing, harassing, all of these things, all admitted to in what you just heard. But you don't have to read through the lines. I'm going to give you specifically some examples. And then after I do that, we're going to back out and I'll show you this story and how it came to be here.
Yeah, it's about exposing. It's the war that I've hinted at. That you've all that you
I'm
and Endless
sorry
have
I'm
been
not saying
waiting
much. I'm sorry I'm not saying much. There's not much for me to say here. I'm like, okay.
patiently for info on. And you guys also have to think this isn't about politics. You guys don't exist to the regular Twitch. The same way that you guys expose bad actors in politics.
These are clips from the 8-hour recorded phone call that Donnie recorded the evening of September 26th into the morning of September 27th. These are some examples debunking all the lies that Endless said.
We're bringing out the bad actors of Twitch. I know. That's why. That's why a lot of lefties and why I'm having to create another Discord is because it's going Chud, Destiny, Stardust, and then Sansol because it's an insurance that if Jason does come on his stream, he will shut him down or mute him in order for shit to knock him out.
Another 2 weeks. This is brought to my attention 2 weeks ago.
It's all could have been avoided if he kept his fucking mouth shut.
Right, yeah.
Can we have, and I think this is going to be a funny moment, can we do the math for a second? Ruin his supplemental income. So Jason pulls in roughly what? Maybe roughly double the
500.
numbers. Let's say roughly double the numbers that you do, Clai, right? Not throwing shade on you. Roughly, maybe double the numbers you do.
An extra is 500.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yeah. So, like, seriously?
He told me.
Yeah, he's not making a bag off of this shit.
And he would have more money.
That's why I thought it was fucking insulting when he was going on about that in the stream this morning.
Guess it's okay to take $500 out of somebody's pocket every month. Now remember, I'm going to show you none of this had anything to do with Jason. They were with Jason until they were afraid Jason was going to out them. Then this whole campaign, everything you're hearing about Jason, Donnie, Sarah, Rotted, me,
Jeez.
Jenny, everything you hear about us is all to protect their little operation. It had nothing to do with Jason, and they smeared this whole community all for their operation.
And I was
about
like,
his
you
job.
don't need this. You don't need this, Jason. Like you have a day job and you can get a day job.
And then they're harmed, which is why I'm not doing it, is because I am not putting my family at risk of being swatted or doxxed. Already, I'm like, no, I don't need my family's house doxxed. I don't need my family's house swatted. I need this to not be buried and this to come out. And so nobody knows
That's not Jason. That's all the other stuff.
Twitch poll exists, that y'all are like out here, but y'all are savage enough and ruthless enough that this will.
This is what was pasted in the Discord for everybody to see. Jason's information.
That is kind of
You literally
weird.
can't function. You're pretending to function. And
Well,
the
at
thing
this
is,
point-
why you continue to go live is to prove, look, I'm fine.
Well, at this point, like, whoever was talking about calling a local place and, like, doing a 5150, I'm in full support of. Like, that's, like, because he can't help himself. Like, when people get like
So-
this, like I said,
So I do want to say I was invited to this server called the War Room, and I wasn't sure what it was about. And I told Clai, like, calling any server the War Room and inviting somebody to it or inviting people to it is just a bad idea. You know, don't ever call any server, any group chat, anything the War Room. And I knew that she was talking to this Lupelli person and was talking about having their information talked about or whatever. But she had so many people in that server. I was like, dude, this is bound to get leaked, you know? So I didn't want to be in it. I just didn't. When it was called War Room, she changed it eventually, I guess. But two, was dealing with this Lupelli person. Then I had no idea what was going on with Jason, so I just left the server. But and then I had my stuff going on with Mr. Girl at the time, so I had no idea what was going on here. But I just know that with how sensitive the information was coming from Lupelli, like, it's bound to get leaked if you have like 20 people, so in this server. So, yeah.
I just had to.
Remember, nobody signed on for the 5150.
His daughter has her grandma
And I certainly never was part of any of these calls either, as you can see. So
she'll be fine, right?
Yeah. So on there, Clai says grandma. On the call, Endless says mom. Sounds like a lie. Sounds like they didn't care if Jason's child had to be put into foster care, they didn't care, because then they'd be able to do their operation.
And he has a brother. He has a brother and a mother who both.
How does anybody get a hold of them?
Well, he's already told both of them that we're dating.
Well, like again, how does
That's
anybody
so
get a hold of them?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he's deleted off Facebook.
Just of what I understood was
Yeah, he
was
blocked
just
me on Facebook.
is that
But I
he
know
was
all
putting
of
up
them,
To attack him because he's in a
Should
manic
I try to
spiral.
convince him?
He's not thinking right. What
Hold
was
on.
told him isn't registering him, and he's thinking
Hold
the
on.
only thing good here is that he's terrified that he's going to get taken down in a massive way, which is a good thing for you.
Wait.
Yeah, but she should be scared.
I don't know, guys. Maybe it's worth like just since we don't like you like it could be like running to the company or whatever, even if it's likely that that's what it is. I think Rance is right that like he has a daughter, and this seems like really delusional behavior. So like
It's starting to spiral even more.
That's Jay Mari endorsing a 5150 call. Boy, for nobody endorsing this, it's sure like a lot of people endorsed it.
Like running to the company or whatever, even if it's likely that that's what it is. I think Rance is right that like he has a daughter, and this seems like really delusional behavior. So like
It's starting to spiral even more.
sorry, you addressed they were not being on. It was the only part you played, and you addressed it. Like, what do you mean? Well, so what happened is Jason and Clai, they had some sort of thing going on, and then they fell out, and Jason was acting erratic, and Clai felt threatened by that. She thought that he was going to leak into everything that she was trying to do with this Lupelli person. I didn't even know that Claw was involved until much later, and like after I'd already distanced myself from whatever was going on. And after that, I was like, oh, Claw's involved. Claw's, you know. But anyways, yeah, she thought that like Jason was going to ruin everything. So then Jason became #1 enemy, because they thought that Jason was going to leak everything. So erratic means right-wing 5150. What? No, he was just being he was acting, you know, a little bit unhinged. He was not just a little bit unhinged. He was acting a bit unhinged, but whether that warranted 5150ing him, I don't know. But as soon as and Jenny was threatened because yeah, I don't know. I told Clai, man, you can't be naming servers this. You can't if you're telling me that this information with Lupelli is super sensitive, you cannot be having 20 people in your server. It's been leaked. It's already been leaked, you know? And then when I found out Claw was involved, I was like, oh no, that guy is not involved, you know, not reliable at all. So.
A wellness check might not be uncalled for because we don't necessarily know, I guess, and like also you don't know what he's acting like in his personal life if he's doing this online.
And they'll check his online behavior, and that's unfortunately for him, they'll probably give him a 5150. Like that's like 72-hour hold.
New ones, because in all the new ones, he's just throwing down beer.
Is this one the child protection?
So they were okay with taking away his income if necessary. They did talk directly about swatting him and doing a 5150 call, and they all endorsed it. Nobody said no. Not a single person said no.
2 cents is just see like this Jason streams are just throwing back coronas.
Maybe okay, hold on. It could
How
be
old is his
now
kid?
that we're
Like
getting like a
14?
more clear
Yeah,
picture
she's
of his
13.
like
Yeah,
And this is where they were respectfully talking about her being 13. You know, this is how only the truly best people talk about somebody's kid.
Wait.
Well, that's the paradigm shift.
Wait.
Wait, hold on.
She is a whole conscious person.
Hold on.
Oh, Jay Marianne, that is a whole conscious person.
I thought
wait,
it was-
exactly.
But it could
I'm
be
gonna
the case
just mute the
that, if
stream.
he
I'ma
has
just-
that kind of
Yo,
mental
so
state,
what
that
you're
he
telling
does
me-
think that, like,
but yeah,
people are trying to
you're
get
telling
that he
me
does like
that
genuinely think people are
this
coming to
entire
his kitchen.
time,
I know that the
I
person
have been
that he,
predicated on the thought that this
I don't
person
know,
was
like, what
like
his- what her,
willingly speaking
interaction
about having to
between
take care
him
of a
and his
child
kid and all that
who
was,
like couldn't
but, like,
fend for
me,
themselves.
But yeah, back to whatever you're freaking out about. Yes, she is
Yeah,
13.
no, if I had heard that, man, 13 is still too young for somebody to be on their own. You know? Holy shit. She's a whole ass person. She can take care of herself. No. Only if she should only be put in that situation if it's an emergency. You know? Like my brother and I were had to take care of ourselves from a pretty young age when my mom was busy working. And even then, like, it's not ideal. You know? Potentially she's disabled. Damn. Yeah, no, I mean, again, as somebody who, from a pretty young age, had to be by myself a lot, and my brother had to be by himself a lot too, I wouldn't put any... If you have the ability to make sure that a kid doesn't have to take care of themselves at that age, you know, you should make sure to not do that to that child.
13, and he has used his daughter against me multiple times. But
Yeah,
if you'll
his
also
daughter's
notice,
13?
Yep,
Yeah.
that's what you walked in on.
So-
Everybody freaking out. Yep, she is 13, and that panic attack was the first panic attack that has ever happened on stream. And she is a very sound-minded person.
Oh
because
yeah, the panic attack.
She has nowhere else to go. His bedroom is the living room. She's hearing everything that he says. She's hearing every manic voicemail that he's screaming at me in.
Yeah, it's not like he's got soundproofing. Like, yeah, fuck, she can hear everything. God damn.
Yeah, and then during his stream this morning, he was like, yeah, and her birth mom was like not that cool to me. She was kind of like abusive, which strikes me as like like abuse in response to abuse most
Yeah, believe all victims, right, Mari?
likely.
Yeah, no, that's why I said rewind it, because when I said
Look, I can't comment one way or the other on this part here, right? I can't comment one way or the other. I feel like Aiko could have come in with that chat anytime in the last 8 hours today. That's true. Just came in. What's all this? Highlander Leftist drama. I can't make sense of it one way or the other, honestly. Yeah. Say your parents neglected you without saying they neglected you. Discord call, jeez. Is Highlander a person or a group? It's a group.
how old she was, everybody went, yeah.
Okay.
She's
Let's
her
go ahead and
own
continue it.
fucking person. She takes care of herself more than he does.
But it could be the case that like
I want to
They
point out
don't
too
know
that he
that.
said this morning he couldn't do Uber Eats or like gig work because he has a daughter. She's 13 years old. She does not.
You can
need
make a
babysitter.
sandwich.
She does.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does not need a babysitter.
She's the one who cooks dinner.
Yeah, she doesn't need her diapers changed.
She's always the one who cooks dinner.
Paradigm. I'm so glad you're here, bro.
She cooks dinner. She cleans the house. She basically is raising her dad.
She could damn near work Uber Eats.
Okay, so I don't know as much as they do on this, okay? And I don't know enough about his daughter to say anything about it, okay? I don't want to make any assumptions here.
So right now, all we are focused on right now is getting ahead of his smear campaign that he is
Getting ahead of it. The only thing we're focused on right now is getting ahead of his smear campaign.
started on me,
That's against TOS. Am I right?
mixed with alcohol.
We didn't do any mass reporting.
There's 50
No.
different offenses if those VODs were ever public. There's like
Right.
there's
Yeah.
like so many of them. Clai was showing me when. That's why I asked if she had editorial power still, because at
No,
this
but
point we're going
I have
for
all the VODs.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean,
TOS
fuck
is
it,
a-
report him to
That's
Twitch
the
and
thing.
get
Okay, so to be fair to Clai, Jason was being pretty inflammatory. He was doing the typical cope that people do when they're rejected, saying she led me on, she did this, she did that. And to her, maybe it did honestly look like he was going to keep saying stuff about her, right? And he was berating her on stream. He was saying stuff about her on stream, but he wasn't in a good mental place. So that's why when I was watching this happen with him, that's why I was so intent on being like, hey, dude, you're not in a good mental space right now. Like, is there any chance that you can just log off for a bit, right? That's what I was trying to do when Jason was doing what he was doing. I want to be completely fair to Clai, right? Because for Clai, she was dealing with somebody who was acting very erratic, somebody who was claiming, all sorts of things about her, and who had been kind of, overbearing to her. So that's why I tried to be as fair as possible to both sides and say, hey man, not in a good space, don't do this right now. Take some space, come back, people will be forgiving. Jason outwardly heaved very loose cannon. That was really helped the whole thing. Jason was legit erratic, yeah. Yeah, he was acting, unhinged. And Clai probably maybe overcorrected a little bit because she felt like he was being so unhinged. She probably overcorrected a little bit and felt like she had to do more than she actually did, right? We just had to convince Jason to, take a break, right? And then one thing I think Clai doesn't realize about online stuff, even if he's still vague tweeting about you, you don't acknowledge him unless you want to make it content, So that's one thing I think she didn't really understand about online engagement and stuff. Old thoughts of him being drunk or erratic aren't evidence for an actual welfare check. I'm not talking about a welfare check, girl interrupting. I'm not justifying a welfare check. I'm just talking about her getting her friends in a group chat and talking about what are we going to do about this guy. Right? That's what I'm saying. Like when the two of them had their falling out, it was very clear that he was acting very erratically, and he was berating her publicly, and so she probably overcorrected a bit, made the group chat, discuss what they were going to do, discuss what they were going to say about what was happening because he was going around in public talking about her. But then after a certain point, you do have to disconnect, and I don't think she really got to that point, right? There's a point where this guy's going to keep vague tweeting about you, and you just kind of have to disengage from him. You can't make him disappear, So, yeah.
be platformed.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I can support him without having the VODs because you guys need to know that even if you delete a VOD, Twitch still has it. That's how people get. Yeah. So
Well, I mean,
everyone
right here,
is saved to a separate server. But he was also using my people to record his.
Like I said, she took over Jason's stream.
Streams, Braid service, only VODs, which I highly suggest all of you streamers use the drinking on. I have access to because he was using my people to record his streams.
we minor mass reported this specific stream that I'm about
We minor mass reported
to show you because
So that is a little bit weird. She had access to his VODs because of the servers that she recommended to him. That's kind of sketchy. That's where I think it's getting very sketchy. So she has access to VODs that he deleted because of people she's friends with who he was using a service through. No, I'm not justifying anything that anybody has done as far as like trying to 5150 him or anything like that, right? I don't think trying to 5150 somebody is a good idea. About her overreacting to Jason. Well, I don't know if she was overreacting as much as overcorrecting, right? Because she felt like he was attacking her, right? So, and attacking what she was trying to do, I guess.
of the misinformation. I know I reported it. I'm pretty sure that Tegma reported it. I'm also pretty sure that didn't you report it too, Mumbles?
Absolutely.
Oh, is this one from earlier?
Yeah, it's
This is the one from earlier. Because like we saw the misinformation. At least I'm pretty sure everybody in the Twitter chat, except for probably fucking Horny, reported it for misinformation because like we instantly saw the misinformation. We're like, nope, fuck this shit.
Oh wait, you want me to report it for misinformation too? I'll go do it.
Now they're gonna walk Arun through how to report Jason. They're gonna do it all together, like teamwork. Teamwork makes the dream work, guys.
Attacking someone isn't 50. I don't agree with anybody 5150ing anybody. This chick literally said that she came in Twitch poll because she knows how vicious and attack happy they are, Stardust, and to clear Claw's name. Yeah, Claw is unhinged as fuck. So. I mean, sometimes it's fair to, like, call authorities, right? When it's justified, but I don't think that this was a situation where it was justified. If something messy ever happens to Stardust, she should name her secret war room ELE extinction level event. Jeez, dude, I would never, ever. You know?
I need
Literally,
Aston.
please go report him for
attitude.
misinformation.
It's unbelievable.
Because
Yeah,
he
wait,
helped me so fucking much. That's what I'm saying. I think I'm doing the Lord's work because hopefully the good that comes after this is that the left doesn't fight. And does he have you as a mod? Doesn't he have you as a mod, Arun?
What? Why would you have me?
Because he had Tegma as a mod still, even after. But like reporting from mod view gets things done quicker. So we report people from mod view.
Star named her war room mod general, and it's full of screaming bananas. That is very true. That is very true.
That have been eaten in 20, like within 20 minutes.
Oh no, I was never had mod control on his channel.
And then it'd be like for something on stream, and then you'd explain.
Report him for
Or
harassment.
actually, no, do.
Report him for harassment while you're at it too.
Off Twitch behavior.
Yeah, off Twitch behavior.
Which honestly, I think what I'm kind of doing, I kind of feel like I'm doing the Lord's work with Twitch.
Okay, so
if someone's clearly making threats of harming someone, that is clear line to call authorities, yeah. Or if they're talking about harming themselves, yeah. But someone talking shit, not really. You put, you know, your own thing out there, and then you kind of let people go for a bit, you know, and you just let him tire himself out. That moment, that part where they made fun of what would happen to her daughter is why I got involved at all. The video was shared with me, and I heard that, and I just couldn't sit on it. Yeah, that's sad.
I said this was about something that was mentioned a long time ago. Well, not a long time ago, but this stream is from September 18th. Okay. This breakup with Jason began September 24th. Is the stream that this all they decided they had to go after him. Now, what you'll see is that's only like a week after this stream, and somehow Overlord Clai was able to recruit an entire organization of people, supposedly, in just 1 week. And then those people were so on board that they were willing to attack all of us. They were willing to get Jason's kid taken away. They were willing to do a swatting call on Jason, mass report him, harass, do gang stalking, all to fix this.
back before he was Austin. This is how Slicker got into Twitch, really, because he was king of Helldays.
Right.
I met you at Loonfest, you know, and different places. You come to my
I
party.
may have missed it. What joke did they make about his daughter? I missed. I think I must have missed that. I'm sorry.
Has
Yeah.
had
Poor
you come to
Lupelli,
my
though.
parties before, you know, TwitchCon and shit like this, but people don't remember me because I'm like just a person in the background. But man, like, you were my friend, bro. And before I was going for my transplant, knowing you're not going to pay, you're asking for my money that I put together to save my life, and you had no intention, even though I've already given you money. You never paid that back, and then you asked for another 10K. Before I'm meant to be going to America to pay for this stuff, man. I just want to know. I know addiction is difficult, but were you actually my friend? Ever?
Can I ask you a question, Luke?
Go.
What do you have a job? Do you,
Not anymore. I had to retire because I got so ill.
Can-
I put most of my money into crypto back in 2017. I used to work in the games industry. I used to make sound effects for video games like Call of Duty, Fortnite, Cuphead. I worked on all of these games, but when my illness got worse, my hearing got worse, I can't make audio.
okay, so you.
Yeah, Lupelli seems to have been used in this. There was I think they were saying that she can take care of herself and get a job. Oh, okay. Yeah, Endless said that Jason's daughter could drive Uber Eats to make them money. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I remember that, yeah.
So Slicker owes you 7K.
I guess I didn't read that as a joke, I guess. I didn't read that as a joke. I thought they were being serious, you know? But yeah, Lupelli, what happened with Lupelli was very sad, yeah.
I would say, in my personal opinion,
And I do think that I think that Clai really did mean to help her, right? Genuinely meant to help her. And anybody who was involved, like Tegma and Endless, I'm sure they meant to truly help Lupelli, right? But I think that they got a little bit caught up on the stuff with Jason. Like, they should have just disengaged after they should have just disengaged with Jason after telling him to get help and stuff, you know? And they shouldn't have done this, like, crazy cartoon, goofy scheme to, like, travel up the ladder or whatever, you know? It's just, like, goofy levels of, yeah, just, it was goofy. It was very goofy. So.
The top people that needs to get the money.
They broke actual laws and caused actual harm. Well, yeah, I'm maybe I should be calling it goofy, but, you know. What I'm saying is goofy is the amount of scheming that they were doing, I guess, if that makes sense, you know? The amount of scheming that, and just, like, it was, like, cartoonish schemery, you know? So.
Let me just finish.
Not just Slicker, though.
I
want to say, Slicker is one person who's in court.
Yeah, I know. Oh, yeah.
This has happened to me before. Slicker held me for a fucking police report for domestic abuse against another partner streamer who took 35K over 2 years through romance court. There is a police report open against him in the UK, but he's in the US. You know, this is the community that you have. This is your community. This is happening. It's not just Slicker. It's everybody.
Wait, what? You opened? Wait, can you? What are you talking about? Someone? There was another streamer that stole $35,000. You said?
Oh yeah, over 2 years. He was my partner. He was my boyfriend. And when I said I can't fund your lifestyle anymore, he broke up with me.
Wait, is it for gambling? Is that why he took the money?
I'm sorry. I know this is unrelated, but I feel like there's a lot of pressure on Slicker right now. And it's not just him. It's just this is what Twitch breeds. This is what this platform breeds. people can get used so easily.
Wait, did
and
your
you don't
boyfriend
realize.
did he take the money for gambling?
He took the money to party with you guys, to enhance his stream, for a car, for equipment, for computer, so he can jet off and go hang out with Austin and Lord Kirk, you know, and you guys. No, I haven't.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if they want to. I didn't even mean to start up on this, but it
No,
puts
that's
a lot
okay.
of heat on you. But it's not just you, man. You got caught doing it on a mass scale, but people are having this experience every day. Thousands of dollars have been taken by viewers and people
person-
they think are friends or partners or boyfriends. But it's just
It just seems like when I say cartoonish, like schemery, like just the idea that they had of like climbing up these ladders and making sure bringing all of Lefty Twitch together and all of that seemed kind of cartoonish to me. Naming a Discord server the War Room and inviting like everybody you know to it and not expecting everything to get leaked is cartoonish to me, you know?
it's not just you.
So okay, before we start any of this, I just want to say I'm sorry. Here's what we're gonna do. So just Clai, I think you were one of the first people that should be paid. I don't know what's going on with your story with your ex and all that stuff. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't even mean
No,
to
no,
bring
it's
that
okay.
up.
It's okay. No, it's okay.
So-
There's a lot of emotions going on today.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna message XQC you, and he's actually messaging me, telling me to get your. Do you have like a Bitcoin address or something? Because you should be paid first. Like,
yeah, I do.
can you put it in here so we can get you paid first?
Yeah.
Because
Do you mind if I just go for a smoke first? I got myself all worked up, and that's not good for my health.
well, I don't think smoking is good for your health either.
It's medical cannabis.
Oh, okay, you're good.
So I don't have a seizure.
Oh, okay, now I'm an asshole. No, they just if you can come back and if you could just give me your Bitcoin address so I can give it to XQC. He's messaging me right now, saying that.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Wait,
Thank you,
bro.
Taylor, what was the reason why you wanted to bring Lupelli on to?
No, I mean, no, sorry, she messaged me, so of course, she has a right to say her things, you know, I mean, of course, I don't want to.
I'm sorry, I only wanted to know if he was even my friend to begin with, or if he was just part of this massive scheme.
Lupelli,
I
I'm
was
evil.
one of the first
I'm
people to give you money, it seems, and you.
So that's the base story. That's the story. That there's all these allegations out there. All this stuff is going on. Now, I don't know the actual date of this. I just realized that the date this was posted was the September 18th. I don't know the date of this actual stream. But supposedly, that's when Clai started to take interest in this whole thing, was supposedly when she heard this stream. However, I'm not 100% sure that's the case. I'm just not positive. And there's some information we're going to go over. There's 24 minutes of this 8-hour call that I'm going to play. This
Story never read a book,
25
but
minutes.
LOL.
I
Nice,
want to
Jesus
run
cow.
because I don't
Nice.
want anybody to misunderstand how much this was not about Jason and how far these people were willing to hurt people. From 5150s doxing, Jenny had to leave her house and had threats made against her and had a funeral blanket and wrote. I was
Right? The
banned.
50 gifted is crazy.
Sarah and Donnie were harassed endlessly. Same with Rotted. This whole thing was malicious. Why? You guys are going to have to decide for yourselves.
I'm so lucky.
And
Thank
she
you,
knows
Jesus cow.
exactly what he's done, who he is, and that's the reason why we're using these people. Is the people who got hurt that were the ones that were trying to do good, but these people are not scared. And also the screenshot that I just sent was Jason talking to Sansol and talking about coming on.
I don't know who Lupelli is. So let me just get it. Is Lupelli the victim in the situation we're talking about?
So the girl that was
Because
scammed
I
out
don't-
$7,000 for her organ transplant.
The cancer money. The cancer.
Yeah, that's the
Lupelli?
cancer
Okay, she
patient.
was the one that was on stream and
Ish,
stuff.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and she
well,
even tried like hinting
okay,
at exposing people.
I'm just trying to like sort out who the people are. What I
Yeah,
was going to say
yeah.
is I'm not 100% comfortable trusting someone who's close with Destiny on like allegations about bringing down Hassan and people that Destiny is like public enemies with. Like, I don't know that I would trust them completely.
Basically, how do we know that, especially the more right-wing adjacent content creators, aren't just going to use this to smear the left as a general thing?
I feel like that kind of implies that we shouldn't bring stuff to light just because it would make the left look bad.
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. That's not what I'm saying at all.
Fucking clowns.
No.
This needs to happen either way. Period.com. If this is as serious as Clai is saying, and I trust her.
Wait,
this is a
has
seri-
something happened?
Just check general. Aaron is like Jason's in his chat.
And that's the thing is, also, Globes can say what he wants about using enemies, but
I forgot to. Why didn't anybody tell me to change the title here? Highlander Leftists. Infighting. Okay. Damn.
Jason's going on Sansol to talk about me. I'm using Sansol and Destiny and these evils to shield the victims.
Evils?
And
I'm an
to
evil?
be the cannon fodder that bring it forward, where Jason's about to use these people against me.
And the advantage of the advantage of having Sansol on our side already is we can make sure that Sansol can stop Jason from exposing this on
Before it needs to
Sansol
be.
stream.
Yeah.
Because I've already talked to
So it has nothing to do with Jason.
Sansol to make sure that if Jason tries to bring this up, Sansol is going to either mute Jason or just shut it down completely.
Because that's the thing that Globus missed is we have screenshots of Jason talking to Sansol and like agreeing and like wanting to be there. And that's what I'm saying is he's still lying and manipulating to people, and until you stop talking to him, he's going to lie and manipulate to you.
Like there's an advantage of having these people on our side.
Why didn't
already,
they
'cause we
use
can
me?
make
Sorry,
sure
IRI.
that stuff goes in our favor.
LOL, no wonder George Washington won. Man, I'm an evil.
Like the Jason situation, because he can't go on their stream and expose this stuff before it's supposed to be exposed.
I also just want to clarify real quick. The only reason
He can't go on and expose this stuff before it's supposed to be exposed. The only thing they really care about is stopping Jason so they can get through with their mission.
why I brought that up is because the thought that I had was there's already I know this isn't political, right? I get that. I want to make that clear too. And I also want to make clear that this has to happen either fucking way. That too, and it has to happen. The reason why I brought it up is because there's already the rhetoric being pushed out there and accepted hook, line, and sinker about not just trans people, but anyone who's pro-trans rights being groomers and pedophiles and shit.
Sorry, I didn't include the hours of them shitting on y'all. Well, I don't know. I kind of expected it. How long ago was that call between Endless and James, by the way? F-bombs? Because I don't know how long ago is that? Because I'm so confused.
So if like, I mean,
fuck that.
But Greg, the only person being exposed that's anywhere near left leaning or like
October 13th. Okay, so it was a while ago. It was early October. Okay, it was a while ago. Yeah, because Endless has been cool to me since, you know? So he's been chill with me since, but yeah.
Wait, not Jason? You're Hassan is left leaning, everybody else isn't, but you're not talking about Jason.
Everyone else is like some like
gamers.
Right.
Yeah.
And Hassan's mainly
I just worry that
to
they're
be
going to
blamed
twist
by
this into their own favor.
No, and they're not even Hassan's not even like the biggest person in it. He's mainly just someone that has known about it and has helped in the cover up.
What the fuck is the mission? That's what I'm saying about this, about it being kind of like cartoonish, you know? Cartoonish schemery. There's a mission, and we got to make sure our mission is taken care of, and, you know? Star is now 2 steps higher than Moron.
Done the grooming and shit that everyone else has.
That's so
that, yeah.
That we know of just yet.
Lupelli, on top of being scammed out of money. Yeah.
Can I ask about the?
There's the Lupelli scammed out of money, just like we heard.
Because like Hassan being involved in the cover up is something people already said about this one, and it was clearly not the case. So do we mean actively covering up, or do we mean choosing not to interact with it?
Like choosing not like knowing
like
and
not even choosing necessarily, but like not knowing what's going on.
There are brown pawns,
like genuinely,
just like there are white pawns.
And no, yeah, and that's what I'm saying is she game dev'd all your favorite games, Cuphead, Call of Duty, everything. She was the one who.
What a drama-filled night! Am I right? Can we just go over everything we've done tonight? What was the first thing we did tonight? I can't even remember. We can go backwards. Okay, right now this is Highlander Lefty drama. Prior to this, it was Polly versus Wick. Prior to Polly versus Wick, it was Alex Jones versus Nick Fuentes. What happened before that? What happened before that? I don't even remember. Good God. All of the stuff that happened today. Elon versus journalism. I don't know that I covered that during this stream. We watched something else, I think. One other thing happened before Fuentes versus Jones. And I'm trying to remember what it was, but I can't remember. And I know there was, oh yeah, there was Keffels and Dylan. Yeah. Then there was something before that. And you got 50 gift subs. I know. 50 gifted memberships. Thank you so much, Jesus Cow. There's one other thing before that. I know I sang some songs as a banana. Fuck. Can't even remember. What a drama-filled night. Holy shit. Only here do you get all of the exclusive drama, okay? I have been your inside person for all of the right-wing infighting. Now I'm your inside person for all the left-wing, infight. Not inside person. I'm not an inside person. But I can come to you. I bring you the exclusive content, okay? Twitch people, you should come to the YouTube. I bring you all of the content, all of the exclusive content, okay? Remember that Elijah Schaefer Twitter space we listened to just the other day? How banger was that? I am the one. I'm the one who brings you everything. All of the stuff that's going on behind the scenes, okay? Don't ever forget it. This is Stardust specialty. Stardust specialty is well, specifically, I think I'm pretty good at tracking down right-wing infighting, but I'm trying to get better at finding left-wing infighting too. Okay? I don't bring the drama, I just root it. I keep my finger on the pulse, okay? My finger is always on the pulse for you people. My finger is always on the pulse. My ear is always to the ground. That's what I do, okay? Nobody covers, far right happenings like I do, okay? And sometimes far left happenings. I'm trying to get better at it, okay?
Who ran the parties that all these streamers went to because her rule was no streaming.
Man,
Doesn't sound like she.
By the way, everybody was shitting on Elijah Schaefer in that Twitter Spaces call. Everybody. It was so good.
Just heard about this randomly. It sure sounds like she knows Lupelli pretty closely and didn't just randomly hear about this, a couple weeks before this call. It sure sounds like she knew all about this, knows Lupelli, and knew about all this before she came to Twitch Poll. Keep listening. Let's see if that's right.
This is to relax and to be real humans.
Left-wing infighting is loud as fucking everywhere. The right keeps their fights quiet to advance their... No, I don't think the right keeps it quiet. I just think that the left chooses to not look in their direction.
So, like, she's also the one who set up the Mia Khalifa, Mia Markova date with Hassan. That was her Airbnb that she spent thousands on, and for Hassan to throw that hissy fit. So, like, and that's what, for Hassan to act like, and Miz to act like they had no idea who she was them, again, being bad actors.
She's referring to the part we just saw a minute ago.
And covering it up. Because that's why she said, you've been to my parties. You were at every party that I threw, like, you know who I am, but I was just the background to you.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh.
This is why I have the rule that if you have over $1 million, you're more than likely a piece of shit.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like S-Fan's not even clean. Like I said, the only people who are clean right now are like Charlie, Ludwig, Cutie. Cinderella has messaged her and checked on her every single day since that interview. Like, what a fucking trooper. But that's what I'm saying is this. Nothing about this is political, and that's why we're having to bring the people in Twitch politics into it, because the people that we're using don't give a fuck. Whereas the people that did come forward and the people that are the victims are in the gaming community, where like discourse route costs you your job.
If you have $1 million, you're a piece of shit. Yeah, I don't agree with that. There are a lot of average middle class people who have saved very carefully to have $1 million, but
discourse costs sponsorships, everything. Whereas discourse brings you guys sponsorships and brings you guys notoriety. Whereas lives were ruined last time, so that's why we're doing it right this time. And if doing it right means
Wait, lives were ruined last time, which means we're doing it right this time. Did you hear that? Lives were ruined last time, so we're doing it right this time.
you guys sponsorships and brings you guys notoriety. Whereas lives were ruined last time, so that's why we're doing it right this time.
So there was a previous time you were involved in this. Interesting. Interesting. So it doesn't sound like you just heard about this from that Slicker stream.
And if doing it right means having to use our enemies, that should
we will use our enemies.
Show how serious.
So something did happen to Lupelli, right? I can say something did happen to Lupelli. Lupelli was she's got her own story to tell, you know, but
how much has been tried before this point.
And to kind of add on to her, so like if we were to go with like the streamers that cover drama in the gaming community, like Drama Alert or any of those people, this shit would literally just like blow over in a fucking day.
They're saying Keem ain't gonna listen to no sexual assault victims.
And nobody
I would disagree. I think Keemstar would listen. If there's enough evidence for it, Keemstar will listen to it.
bat a fucking eye. The gaming
Oh, no.
community literally does not give a
Keemstar was
flying
involved.
fuck.
Yes,
If Keemstar was involved, that definitely would be gone. Yeah, no, fuck that.
Yeah, the gaming community just kind of focuses on whatever dramas that day and lets it go. Whereas we have it set up to where they don't get to bury and hide it this time. They don't get
to bury and hide it this time. Another reference to a previous attempt at this.
to use their resources to silence these victims.
I don't
and
know that I
provide
agree that
security to
it's
victims.
necessarily
They've
a
got-
sign at a previous attempt at this, but you know, it could just mean that like last time somebody tried to bring this up that it didn't work out. But
There's a
Wait,
point in using
I just had a thought. Wait, hear me out. Has anyone considered or would anyone have an in? Not us personally, but like perhaps Lupelli, if she would even be comfortable doing so or willing to do so. But like, has anyone considered not ambushing Hassan with this and actually giving it to him for him to take accountability and cover it, since he is both the largest streamer and likely to take accountability for it if it's brought to his attention in like a formal manner?
I mean, if he wasn't willing to previously, I don't see why he would be willing to now.
Well,
and he's friends with some of the main people. So Austin Show, this is his Raj Patel
and
days, and Hassan has changed a lot.
Here's
since
Austin Show and his Raj Patel days.
then, but I also don't have any way to contact Hassan.
Let me counter that for a second. Also, approaching him with that and say like we're saying like we're about to expose this. Hey, do you want to cover this?
That's
like
a break.
that.
I'm saying,
And that's
Hassan
going to.
Did you know this
Hold on.
happened? Did you know this happened? Hey, are you
Yeah.
aware of this? And wouldn't you say that this is not cool? And then he says, yes, very not
Let me
pog.
find Hassan's like part in it, because like I said, I have like there's so
Because
many
if
things.
someone
I'm having
publicly
a
brought it to his attention, like,
The problem
I
with
think
approaching
that's
him
a
with
better
it
way of going about
is
it and blindsiding Hassan with it. I don't think that he would purposely hide this. I truly do not. Like,
Which-
especially if someone
His is
brought
a
it
minimal
in a
part
public
too.
way.
by the
His-
way, FBOMBs, thank you for the 200 bits. I just saw. Sorry about that. Sorry for not just seeing that. Thank you so much.
Also a very minimal part. It's mainly
That's
his
exactly what I'm
association
saying.
with
If it's
Austin
minimal, I
Show.
imagine he would help. If it's
If you have
negligible,
connections
I think
to
he
him,
would help.
definitely. If you have any like kind of connection, like get him to talk, I would be willing to.
Well, not directly, but I certainly could like get it up the pipeline. I mean,
Yeah, like-
that's like that is an infinitely better choice than trying to push this out through people who aren't even like widely listened to and trusted by most of the people that you like want to
I'm totally
want to side with you. And sorry,
Oh, I agree with you 100%. If there's another avenue that's less, I don't know,
And
racist, I would
I've
rather
reached
go
out
that
to
way.
Asmund, which Asmund's also clean because he doesn't leave his house, so there's no way that he was aware at these parties.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
just facts. Like, and I've even tried to get a hold of Asmund, and they said that they'd push it, but
Okay.
at the same time,
I
they're all together. But yeah, I'm willing.
I'm mod for Carter. I'm friends with Denims. I'm friends with a mod for Will Neff. We got a contact, and we got Will Neff on for Maya's charity stream for trans rights.
And I have not heard
So-
anything about Will either. Maya is somewhat.
Carter has a close in with Hassan, and No Rain has a close in with Will, who obviously has a close in with Hassan.
And if they want to have a phone call to talk about like the things that I do have, because that is the thing is, I'm willing for anyone to help, but we've also had to be very picky and choosy because we have S-Fan.
You guys remember this was a war room for Jason? That they needed to get this together for Jason. They needed to stop Jason. This was all about how Jason was mistreating Clai. I haven't heard Jason's name yet.
24K is a very close friend of Austin's show back when he was Raj, because Lupelli was also Austin's admin, and Austin allowed her to be used multiple times, ignored the fact that she was domestically abused by 24K, and the new girlfriend was domestically abused by 24K, and the final straw for her was when cocaine was left out for her kid to see and go, oh, it's candy.
Okay, who's what's their name?
24K.
No, not 24K.
Brown
the
Magic.
The victim.
Lupelli.
That's the same person. That's still Lupelli.
Yes.
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 She has been,
because that's what I was about to say. Is my conclusive thought is, because I thought you were talking about a second person. I was going to say Hassan should talk to both of them. My conclusive thought is all you need to do in this situation is put it up through the pipeline of the right people and bring it to Hassan's attention in good faith and not ambush him. That is the worst way to go about it.
Want
He
to
would
talk to
speak with
Hassan?
Lupelli.
Well, she doesn't want to talk to him because he knows her, and she is pissed that.
So just to clarify for people who are confused, they're not talking about the stuff that they were this Lupelli stuff was stuff that they were talking about prior to what happened with Jason. What happened with Jason happened after Jason had his, episode where he was acting very erratically, and they felt like they nipped it in the bud or whatever. They probably went overboard quite a bit. And now they're just talking about the Lupelli situation again. So this was after the Adri situation, I believe. Or maybe it was before, actually. I don't know, Marduk. I'm still so lost. I'm sorry. It's a mess. What are you lost about? How can I help? Imagine teaching a class about Discord and psychology class, yeah. Well, yeah, there's the larger thing that is about Lupelli, and then there's the smaller thing with Jason. So there's no incident with Hassan specifically, just that he's friends. This is the first 24 minutes recorded. This is all before they mentioned Jason. Yeah. So the larger thing is about Lupelli and her allegations. And then the smaller thing is about Jason, and they made Jason public enemy #1 because they felt like he was going to give away all of the information. So I don't know who Lupelli is. She's the one who was played on that clip, who was crying about her, waiting for a transplant in the hospital while getting scammed out of like 30K or something like that. She's the game dev that got scammed by Slicker, and also she was domestically abused by 24K, who used to do the opening intro music for Austin show. So Lupelli actually has like legit you know, stuff.
He acted like he had no idea who she was on stream in front of everyone the same way Miz did, even though Miz gave a hint by like hiding his face after it. And that's why they were all, why did you bring her on? So that's why I would
do
love to have
really
a conversation
understand.
with Hassan and Will, like, because if they want to help,
I
I'll
understand
let
how
them
she
break it before.
That'd be very, very hurtful.
But
I
these
think
are also they're
I
friends.
think you should be. Oh, they're friends.
Like no, but this is also like they're friends that are going to be exposed. Like Austin, Austin's very close with Hassan and Will, so it's just kind of like
It's a conflict of interest.
yeah, who's willing to hold their friends
You
accountable?
got to remember, he's friends with Miz, and Miz is one of the main people that's going to be exposed.
Yeah,
He's not friends with Mizkif. He just went against Mizkif and everything that already came out.
so like if their minds are starting to change, then yeah, now is the time. Which I tried to get a hold of.
I understand. Hang on. I understand why Lupelli wouldn't want to talk to Hassan if he hurt her feelings in that way. Like I see how that would be incredibly hurtful, but I do think that, like, it's realistic to think that after streaming for however many hours that day and being in the middle of a fucking Discord thing and just seeing someone's name on screen and hearing their voice, how on earth would he know that that's her?
And that's the thing too is so that's why I was so glad that she reached out to me, because I was used and she was used. This is why we've kept it very small and very tight, because aka 24K, his best friend used her domestic violence story against me and Lupelli to get the information that we had on her friend, and then blocked us both everywhere.
So, that sure sounds like she brought this shit with her and is making accusations that she should have to answer for. People have been hiding.
I don't get why people even talk about Hassan. He couldn't give a shit about smaller streamers. Yeah, I don't expect Hassan to be somebody who would care about this. But that 24K person not only scammed money out of Lupelli, but was like domestically abusive as well to her, I think.
These accusations for her, but she made them to a group of people. She should have to answer for them, don't we agree?
Everywhere.
Let me rewind this.
On her friend, and then blocked us both everywhere.
So,
after streaming for however many hours that day and being in the middle of a fucking Discord thing and just seeing someone's name on screen and hearing their voice, how on earth would he know that that's her?
And that's the thing too is that's why I was so glad that she reached out to me, because I was used and she was used. This is why we've kept it very small and very tight, because aka 24K, his best friend used her domestic violence story against me and Lupelli to get the information that we had on her friend, and then blocked us both everywhere.
So, that sure sounds like she brought this shit with her and is making accusations that she should have to answer for. People have been hiding these accusations for her, but she made them to a group of people. She should have to answer for them, don't we agree?
Everywhere.
So, this whole charade, this whole operation may have something to do with Lupelli. I have no idea. There's no way for me to know unless I got some DMs. But now we're getting an admission from Clai that she has a personal vendetta. That this is about her getting screwed also. Not even to do with Jason's.
Against me and Lupelli to get the information that we had on her friend, and then blocked us both everywhere.
Or has Lupelli thought about coming to Cutie with it?
She doesn't want to use her kindness in that way. And she also doesn't want to bring, she doesn't want anyone else to get hurt, because so many people did get hurt in that initially. She also reached out to CoffeeZilla about it, and I wish I was the right person for this. Maybe go to some Twitch journalists like Jake Lucky, but I've also reached out to Jake Lucky too.
Why?
Nothing. So like, if you can get me in contact with Hassan and Will Neff, I'll talk to them, because I'm her proxy with this, because she's the one that's trusting me to do it right this time, because she has so many panic attacks about this, because it has ruined her life and has made her extremely paranoid. I mean, she lives 15 minutes from the dude who fucking stole her money and everybody else's money. her granddad has offered, because he has terminal cancer. Her granddad has offered to go beat the shit out of him, but she's like, no, that's not going to help the case that we're about to bring forward. Like,
And the thing is like all this information is like so important, and Jason just is trying to discredit it all out of nowhere, out of petty.
This is so important. Jason's trying to discredit it.
Yeah.
Like, this is why we're so pissed off at him.
He's doing it to hurt me.
It's
Okay, Clai.
not specifically the like yeah, you know, obviously the harassment, but there's also this aspect of this pettiness and trying to expose this thing we're talking about right now, you know?
There is one games journalist where it wouldn't just go away. Did you get in contact with Zuma through Parasite?
Parasite doesn't associate with them. Has he been playing with them lately? Because yeah,
I could have swore he's gone on the flank a few times lately.
let me. I mean, I
Which
can
is
text him again
Zuma's.
because we're close. But like, he's like, I've never seen this guy, never heard of him. But oh, okay, this is why he didn't want to give me Zuma. Zuma covers COD League stuff. He wouldn't go near that. And Nameless is a commentator analysis. He doesn't do drama shows. They can't help you.
You said Charlie's not involved. What about Charlie?
I don't even know how in the world to get involved with Charlie. And I really want to get this to Ludwig because I trust him, but I don't want to use Cutie's kindness towards Lupelli to ask to bring Cutie into this. That is also what Lupelli has explicitly asked, is for Cutie to not be involved because so many people were hurt in the first time. But I've been trying to figure out ways to get to Lud. But again, I don't know Twitch polls, and that's why I'm reaching out to Twitch poll people, because y'all get shit done, whereas the gaming side likes to bury it and glorify these people. Because
that's why I'm reaching out to Twitch poll, because the gaming people last time fucked it up. Did she come here to do this? Did she play everyone? She just started corralling and leading everybody and just followed like a bunch of mice.
They're a bunch of 13-year-olds following these people, and they're the ones that are backing these people up, not understanding the seriousness of the situation, and they're breeding more of these same people that they are. But yeah, the same way that you guys expose bad actors in politics, we're bringing out the bad actors of Twitch in hopes that it brings everybody else.
I know we're out of time, but it's so crucial that you go through the right channels.
Yeah.
And like I could see a potential ladder to get this like through to Hassan, maybe. Or like even just through PZ or like another mod perhaps. But
and I put full trust in you. If you
the way that Denim's covered this, like the way that she acted in wanting justice so badly, and wanting actual accountability and consequence for the people on the platform who are responsible. If you can compile the information, like
it's going to Dropbox.
Okay, yeah, then that's awesome. If you have
because again, once it goes Destiny, or once it goes Chud, Destiny, Stardust, from there, and then Sansol, I've offered him the next as a branch of trust for if Jason does come on, that he shuts him down if he starts to speak about this.
Why do they think that Jason's going to speak on this? That's so strange.
It is so crucial, but our timeline is talking like days now. But like, if that is another option, I mean, we can be using two sides, and if they are on it, I can convince her to trust these people. It's just that she's been burned so much by people that are close to the people that they're close with, that's why we're going the Twitch poll route, and not the big streamer route, because it does involve a lot of their friends. And
so it was a plan. So this was your plan. This was your plan.
And it was shut down before. Like I said, Casey Tron discredited Claw by trying to say it. So Claw is the person that was banned for 20 months for coming forward about the abuse, for speaking out against the abuse that he had been through himself due to all of these people and all of the cover-ups. And he got a 20-month ban, which is sus, which I'm assuming was that same staffer that they had working for them that is now fired. But she's also
Rez said he got banned for revenge porn.
Reported 24K and the cocaine thing, and also 24K has a warrant out for him in the UK for breaking a very major law. It's the Safeguard Act, which you have to sign contracts for, which means that you are safeguarding a disabled person, and he broke that act by his coercion and
Wow, these are big accusations.
stealing over $35,000 from her over 2 years. And then when she said, I can't afford your lifestyle anymore, because he was using this money to hang out with Hassan, to hang out with Austin, to make connections with all these people. And that is why
I know, Claw, it is not sus that he was banned. He absolutely deserved every ban. Also, hello, Mikey.
why she's kind of leery to trust these people is because she was shut down and not believed by them because that person was in that circle. But yeah, if you can get me those people, because I don't have those
Let me see
connections.
if I can get a solid summary of it. So is Lupelli the only victim we're talking about here?
Oh no, we have many victims, but again, a lot of them are scared of coming forward because of the Adriana Lee situation, because of one, how she acted and how everyone around that situation acted. So we're also doing this to bring out more stories, which I've already had, like even smaller orgs, Vigilante has put me in contact with smaller orgs where this is happening and women are being used and abused and covered up. So this is a whole lot bigger than me and Jason. It just happened to be Jason was the first person I had to expose, and that wasn't even in the fucking plans because I never wanted it to go public because he was in a program to get help. But then him choosing to call me a meth head and everything live was the final straw for me.
Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. All the stuff you heard, all the attacks on Jason, all the attacks on everybody else, it wasn't even about any of that. It was all this LARP, this recruiting plan because they couldn't get it done elsewhere. So they went to the political space, and Clai comes here and takes over Jason's stream and tries to take over my stream. And then all of a sudden recruits all these people to start doing an investigation. And then when things might blow up in her face, she decides